All right, guys, Big Brother is watching. It's recording. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So we do try to record these for the agents who can't pop on live with us. So I'll do a little intro. Well, Leah, do you have anything to share before I intro Nick?
Nope. Just remember we got new agent mastermind tomorrow, 3 Eastern. And other than that, everybody's just really busy and kicking butt. So great job. And if I'm here if you need anything.
And we appreciate you. Thank you. So I've known Nick since, oh my gosh, like just a little while after I joined eXp, and I really love what he's doing. He's a go-getter, and actually him and his business partner, Jay, have been helping me build out all of my funnels and everything too. But Nick is a master at KV Core, which is the CRM system that we're all using with eXp. As you may or may not know, KV Core is $1,000 to set up, and then between $300 and $500 per month just to have access to the system, and we get it for free. Okay, it's included in our $85 a month. So this is a huge advantage to all of us here at eXp. And we wanted Nick to come on today to talk a little bit more about what this system can do, because we're finding that not a lot of agents are using it because they're scared of it. It's a very big system. It's a lot to learn. But Nick does a really good job at breaking this down and showing you some of the really cool things that's going to make you want to learn about this system. So Nick, take it away.
Yes, thank you for that intro. Yeah, and Amanda, I think, man, it's been 3+ years now. We've known each other. So one of the first people I was able to meet at eXp, and so I'm really glad that you give me the opportunity here to come on and teach your group. So, like I said, I recognize a couple of names like Melinda, who have been through my setup program and service and everything. And so I'll jump in and teach some stuff today. And at any point, guys, that you have questions, or if maybe I covered something, went over something pretty quick, and you'd like me to go back, something along those lines, do not hesitate. Jump on either the chat or you can unmute yourself, and I'd be happy to jump into that and answer those questions for you guys. So, Amanda, did you share what I was going to be teaching today, or what did you tell them?
We did. Leah did all that.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, so I figured, trying to gauge the room in terms of like how much you guys have used KV Core. Show of hands or in the chat, or unmute yourselves. Who here is fairly new to KV Core? Overall. So I see a couple hands going up. Okay, pretty much everybody except my rock star Melinda there. So good deal. So what I'll do today is share some of the basics of the lead generation tools, because that is one of the pieces of KV Core that is most used. But I'll say that KV Core, I'll start by saying that KV Core is a super robust system, as Amanda just alluded to. It's got a lot of different features. It is a CRM at its core, right? So it's going to help you manage your leads and, stay in contact with your customers, your potential clients. But it is also a very, very good lead generation tool, which means that you have a website that can be used in different ways to generate leads. And that's what I'll be covering in a basic level today. And again, if we have time and you guys have questions on different topics, please feel free, ask away, take some notes. And of course, it's being recorded so that you could watch it later. So just like that, let me jump over here. You guys see my screen all right? Cool, getting a bunch of thumbs up, awesome. So I'm in KV Core. Do a quick rundown of where I am. I'm on the dashboard right here. All right, this is like a newer looking version. So for those of you that didn't use the old version, KV Core just updated, like everything. It's brand new, guys. Whole thing has been totally revamped. And so it's much faster now. It works, very, very well. It's super clean. And, where I am at right now is the dashboard. This is essentially like your homepage. And what you get on the dashboard is kind of like a snapshot of your business. When you have new leads coming in, if you have people looking at homes, it'll tell you what they're looking at on your website. It's also got, different responses and stuff, for, some of the responses that your leads might be messaging you. And so essentially this gives you like a snapshot of your business. And where we're going to be doing a lot of our work today is under this lead engine tab. And if you can't see the lead engine tab, it might be because this this little toolbar, as you can see, I'm clicking on, might be like not expanded. So just click on that. You can expand it to see what I'm talking about. And I'm clicking on lead engine. All right. So we're going to be talking about lead engine. By the way, quick plug, if you guys do want like additional training and stuff, check out my YouTube channel. I got tons of really good stuff on there. And I'm actually going to be releasing a lot of new videos because they have updated a bunch of stuff. So do check that out as well. You can just type in Nick Macri on YouTube. You can also check me out on Workplace because I am all over Workplace mostly. And I do have a big announcement at the end of this call, Amanda, that I think you'll love. So, all right. So we're in lead engine, and you're going to see that when you drops you into lead engine that you have a couple of different lead engine tools. You have these landing pages here. You have squeeze pages, call capture, pitch sheet, open house. Then they have a couple of ways in which KV Core can actually generate leads for you if you want to pay for that service. Okay, and so they have tons of different options there. We're going to be primarily talking about squeeze pages here, but I first want to stop and just explain to you guys the difference between a landing page and a squeeze page, since we do have a lot of new agents on the call, people that are new to KV Core, perhaps new to eXp as well. So on this landing page, you can create basically custom like landing, like lead converting pages, essentially, is the best way of explaining it. You don't get like complete customization. That's one of the things that I don't like about these landing pages, but it does allow you to like change up different things here, like, you know, some of the backgrounds or whatever. You can double click some of these things to like remove stuff, etc. And the whole point is you are creating a page that's going to explain what value you're going to give to them, and you're asking in return for their information. What is your email? What is your cell phone number? Right? And I'm going to give you something, right? So in this case, it's like, hey, best deals in, let's say, like Charlotte, right? Because that's where I'm at. I'm in Charlotte. So most of you guys must be in Raleigh. Let's say, you know, Charlotte real estate deals, okay? Free weekly list of hot buys in and around your town. Of course, that's just like the default, what they put here. But like you can use these landing pages in a lot of different ways. So you can customize them. So like if I oftentimes say that this is really, really good for like a giveaway. Okay. So if you're doing a strategy, let's say you are doing some sort of giveaway for an event that you're putting on. So one that we did really, really well a couple of years ago is we gave away a couple of Panthers tickets. And I said, hey, we got some, you know, Panthers are playing in a couple of weekends from now. I want you guys to share this because I'm going to host this giveaway. So I wrote in here, I said, win a pair of Panthers tickets. Then over here, I put, oops, I got rid of that. So maybe I go back. I'm going to refresh this. But let's say I put win a pair of Panthers tickets, right? And then down here, I'm going to put hosted by Nick Macri and eXp Realtor, something like that. Okay. So, so I put that there. Boom. I can like delete all the other stuff. I just want to keep it super simple. You can even change the background if you want. So, you know, they have a couple like preloaded ones. You can create a custom background, but you do need to like find an image and have it hosted somewhere. And so the way to do that mostly is like what I would do is just type in Panthers, right? Carolina Panthers, right? And let's say you found an image. The way to do it is simply, let's say I don't know, I'm just going to pick one of these pictures. You can just right click on the image. And if you guys have never seen this, you might learn something today. You can right click on an image and hit copy link address. Okay. Because that means it's hosted online somewhere. And then you would simply just go back to that page and you can paste the URL, and it should, if it works. Let's try a different one. Actually, I'm just going to click it. Okay, maybe this is like a bad example. Let's try a different picture. Let's try Christian McCaffrey. Let's see if he works. Let's try that one. You can paste it, and usually it will load most of the time. So let's say here, for example, yeah, okay, copy image address, right? And that is what I want to do for the background. There we go. So you want to find that picture, you right click it, you find the address, copy image address. Sometimes I think why it doesn't work on here from Google is because Google like doesn't want you to take pictures from here. So you actually have to click on it to go to the website like I just did and find the actual image. But whenever you get to that image, you can actually use it as a background, right? So like win a pair of Panthers tickets. Just put in your email, cell phone number, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you want to put some more information about like when the raffle is going to be held or when the giveaway is going to be done or whatever. But anyway, you put all that stuff in there. You can even change the picture or the submit item button text where it says see the list now instead of see the list now. It was like good luck or something like that, right? So I could type that in here for button text. So I have good luck. I'm going to require the phone number because I want them to put a phone number in there. So it gets rid of the little word optional, right? So it actually makes it required. And then you can put the URL, again, this part's optional, to where they go after they hit submit. So if you don't put anything there, it'll actually just redirect them back to your website. But you might just want to just in case, you can just take the URL from your website and you can drop it right in there. So that means that once someone hits submit, it will take them actually to your website. And this is my website here, right? So I got this video going up in a helicopter in and around Charlotte. And this is my website that I have here. There's me, yada, yada. And essentially I can use this now as a lead capture system. Is everyone following the strategy with the landing pages? Any questions on what I just covered? I know it went pretty quick on that. So anyway, the main difference between a landing page and a squeeze page is that on a landing page, although you can't really like I can't move this. I wish I could like move the words, maybe add different blocks or elements. And I've heard those things are like coming, they're creating more like kind of customizations. So it's not perfect, in terms of how you can customize it. But the main difference between a landing page and a squeeze page is that a landing page, you can customize. You can use it for different strategies of generating leads. A squeeze page essentially just points them to a pre-made page on your website. Okay. So again, like a landing page, you can use creatively. You can use it as a sign up, right? So if you're hosting an event, instead of having people sign in on a sign-in sheet, you could create the event sign up on this, and then you can just go to that link once you save it, right? It's going to say, hey, once you save this, you're not going to be able to change anything on it. It's like, okay, that's cool. So I hit okay. And now this is my link. So this right here is the link that I want to use, the URL. So let's say I was hosting an event and I'm doing the raffle at an event that I'm hosting. I could just pull up this website link on like an iPad or something, and I could actually just have people sign in on the iPad instead of just having them write down on a piece of paper. Because if they write down on a piece of paper, you still have to go back into KV Core, right, and manually type them in. No one wants to do that, right? Like that sucks, right? Because then you're sitting there trying to just type in all the numbers and stuff, okay? But if you do it this way, you actually can drop them right into your KV Core account. And if you want to, you could even like have them tagged or even start a campaign once they do come into your account. So you could tag them something like hashtag Panthers tickets or Panthers giveaway. And then that way you could easily go and follow up in your KV Core system to everyone who signed up for the Panthers giveaway. So if you want to send like a blast email or a blast text out individually to every single lead, but you didn't want to do it manually for each one, have to copy and paste. You can do it one time and send it to anybody who signed up for this giveaway. Is that pretty cool?
Nick, I have a question about this. So would you use this for an open house, like open house sign up and put the address in here and you can tag it for that address? That way you can follow up with all 30, 40 people coming through the open house?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't, but only because there's a KV Core open house app that is even better than this, and it's already set up for that. So if you guys go into the App Store, I have my iPad somewhere around here with this little stand I bought. I went and bought like a used iPad. Actually, this one, I bought a used iPad, it broke. And then funny enough, like the same week that it broke, I was at Heidi Hines' office. She's a big realtor here in Charlotte, and she was doing a giveaway. This was like over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago at this point. She was doing a giveaway for like a eXp Christmas party, and I won another iPad. I won a new iPad on the same week that my other one broke. But I used that iPad for like literally only open houses. I actually just give it to my team. So like I have a couple buyers agents that host them for me. And so I'll just like, they meet me, grab signs and stuff, and I give them the iPad with the little stand. And we just set up the KV Core open house app on that iPad so people can sign in. So actually, great question, Amanda, but there is an app for that. And it's super, super easy to use. Just put in the property address, require the phone number. You could even add or remove questions too, like, are you working with a real estate agent or not? Yes or no, stuff like that. And they will drop right into your KV Core system. But it's the same idea, right? That's the principle of it. It's the same idea. So the same thought process of you hosting an open house and having people sign in directly into KV Core instead of like writing them down manually. It's the same thought process for this, which is like, hey, if you're doing a giveaway or if you're hosting an event, right? Why write them down with pen and paper? You could just use a landing page and it's even better. Okay. Sound
Nick,
good?
I got a question real quick on that, because I do use the open house and I absolutely love it. But why can't we do it on why does it have to be an iPad? Because when I just tried to do it, I had an iPad on my first one that I was using. But why can't it be directly on, like, set my computer up there and do
Oh, you absolutely can. No, you definitely could do it from your computer as well. I just personally, I do the laptop because people like punching it in or whatever. And I just think it looks a little cleaner or whatever, right? Because I have a little stand. So I just set it usually like on the front table or on the like kitchen island or something. So when people are walking around, I'll just have them punch in their name and number on the iPad. That's just a preference. So you absolutely can do it from a computer as well.
Oh, I was told you can't. I tried to do it and it would not allow me to do it on the computer. I called support and they said you couldn't.
Well, it probably depends on what kind of computer you have. It works on most Microsoft's computers or laptops. But they, thinking now it might be the ones that are considered a tablet too, like the Surface Pro.
Yeah.
Because I know it works on the Surface Pros. You may be right in terms of like from a laptop. I mean, in that case, if you were doing it that way, then you could even do it from your phone. It definitely works from your phone.
Yeah.
Or you could just do it like this. You create a landing page for the open house as well. I mean, you very well could. You could just build one out, get the image from from here, or they have like an open house one, and then you could just type in the address, please sign in or something, right? So like I could get rid of all this stuff. I could just say, please sign in.
Nick.
Right? Do the same thing.
Nick, where do they, I understand it's in the app store. Is it just called the eXp Open House app? Like, how do they find it?
No, it's called KV Core Open House app.
Okay.
Yep. KV Core Open House Mobile, I think is actually what it's called.
Okay, perfect.
Nick, I got a question.
Go ahead, Mike.
For the landing page, wouldn't this be good for, like generating like buyer leads or seller leads where you advertise or you put out list of like golf course properties or free home evaluation or fixer upper properties, distressed sale properties, and you just put it out there and you generate leads that come in, and then you call them back and you follow up like that. For instance, like if you put out a landing page for a free home evaluation, when they, hit you with an email address or a phone number, then obviously they're raising their hand, letting you know that they might be thinking of selling or at least thinking about it, because that's why they hit the page.
Sure, absolutely. So that's a great question, Mike. So that gets back to the difference between a landing page and a squeeze page. So I love that you asked that. And you mentioned free home valuation, right? So a landing page, right, asks for their information right up front. So, it's like a paywall, right? You can only see it if you put your information in, but it's very, it's right up front. So someone who maybe is unsure or they, trying to see the value in it, they might get scared off from something like this because it's very intentional that, hey, in order to get this, you have to put in this, right? And so it's up front. Now, the difference between a landing page and a squeeze page, it's a great question again, Mike, is that a squeeze page, you can start building these squeeze pages. There's literally a seller squeeze page for a free home valuation. Now, the difference is that when you do something like this, I can put a location in. So let's say I'm just going to put in a neighborhood, because you can even do this by neighborhood or subdivision when you do a seller squeeze page, right? So if I created a seller squeeze page here, I could generate the link. And now what this looks like is this. So instead of having it come right up front, like, hey, I need your information, it's going to say the average price in Skybrook is $598,000. What's yours worth? Put in your address and get an instant market report, right? So now when they put their address in, only then do they get prompted to put in their phone number and their email. Does that make sense? So
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so the difference is that these squeeze pages are already pre-made. Like, they are ready to rock and roll. You just got to put in what information you need. So Mike just brought up like a home valuation. Well, a home valuation is another way of saying seller squeeze page. Okay, so you put in the location. If you'd like it to be specific to a location, right? Like I said, I put Skybrook here, which is a subdivision in Charlotte, and it gave me the average price point in Skybrook. You could do it by city. You could do it by zip code. You could do it by county, right? You can even do it by school zone. And so they have all those different areas that are here as locations for whatever you put in there. And all you have to do is put a location, like I mentioned, and then hit generate link. The direct link and the short link both go to the same place. They do the same thing, just one is shortened. Okay. So, and then all you got to do is click on this little button right here beside it, and it will copy it to your clipboard. And then you can go and take that link and you can put it onto places like Facebook. You can put it onto LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever. And you can even blast it out in an email. And then when people get to this page, like I said, if they put in their address, like I'll just type in an address here, right? They put in their address, they click on get estimate, and you can see that I'm already logged in. So it's not going to prompt me for my information. But if I wasn't logged into my site, it would prompt me for the information. Okay. I'm just going to put in an address here of one of my past listings so I can show you, and you can see, so on my phone right away, I actually just said, hey, new home valuation. Nick Macri has completed a home valuation request. Reach out to him to schedule a listing appointment, right? So I actually just got that notification. And you can see here, CMA report generated. You can email it to me. You can text it to me, right? So like I can have it even just text it to me. You can see message sent. And there you go. I just got a notification. Hey, here is a home valuation report from, I know you guys can't see that, but it just sent me the link to it. Or they can even download it, right? So you can see here, comparative market analysis. It's got my information right there. There's a picture of the house, price range, adjusted property value, comparable value, and then it even shows the comparable list, right? And does it all for you. How long did that take, guys? Like 10 seconds, right?
Let me just ask a follow-up on that real quick. Aside from Facebook and LinkedIn and places like that, where else can you send these squeeze pages? Because that's the key. I mean, if you send it to a place where people are actually thinking about this, you're going to have a higher probability that they click on it. So aside from those places, where can you send them that it might be effective?
Well, you got to go to where your audience is, right? So, for you guys, it could be different, right? So some of us might use something like a Red X, and we have lists of cold leads that are looking for sale by owner, or that are for sale by owners, right? And if you have a for sale by owner list, this might be something that you put into a nice, well written out email. Maybe you have an email blast that you send out with a video of you explaining, what this is. And then you put the link. Hey, if you're interested in getting a free home valuation, click here. So you can start to warm your audience. Maybe maybe you're like the president of your HOA board, and someone is mentioning that or talking about realtors or thinking about selling their home. You can send it to them. You can private message these links, right? I have a big presence on social media, and I run like a bunch of pages, and my team, we get a lot of leads that come in from Google, right? So on my Google My Business page, this is something that I post on Google My Business as well, right? As a post. I think actually last week, or I checked last week, in the last 30 days, I had like 1,500 people search for Nick Macri Realtor for my Google My Business page. And I think a lot of that's been because I've been starting to get testimonials on there, and I've been intentional about that. And I started to post from it as well, because you can post on Google My Business, and people, Google does rank you higher the more, you use their tools. So I started using that as well. And this was one of the posts we put out, which is like a free home valuation for anybody looking out of state, or looking to sell and maybe move out of state, to get a free home valuation of their house. So, yeah, I mean, really, there's infinite different ways to use these, right? This is like, the way I explain it when people ask those kinds of questions, it's really that there's no wrong answer to that. It's anywhere and everywhere. And that, really you have all these tools, right? KV Core gives you all of the tools in your tool belt. You're like Batman, right? You have your tool belt. You got all these little gadgets. It's really just about choosing the right one for the right audience and making sure that they see it.
Well,
Okay.
I got one more question. I'm sorry but I got a list of like a database of sellers that might be thinking of selling, and I don't even know these people, but I do mailers to them. But I also, when I send them to a site, I get their phone number and email address. If I were to enter all these leads into KV Core, then I could group them and send the squeeze page to them direct, asking for the free home evaluation. Is that right?
Absolutely. And I'll do you one better, Mike. You said you do direct mailers. That's great. Well, why don't you go purchase a domain? Why don't you go purchase easyhomevaluation.com or something like that, or quickhomevaluation.com. And then you forward that to your home valuation page on your website, right? So that way someone could just, from the card, they could type in freehomevaluation.com. You forward it here, instantly find your home's value, and you put that on your mailer. So that way, when somebody sees the mailer and they're like, okay, well, I like, what this guy Mike is putting out, what he's mailing us every 2 weeks. I see him in our inbox all the time. Let me check out what he's got for this free home valuation thing. And then you'll see people put in their addresses. I've seen people even use it from like a QR code. So I got this one lady that worked, she actually purchased coaching with me and did the setup program through us as well, through Jay and I. And one question she asked in one of the group calls was, hey, she's like, hey, Nick, I live in a small community, but we have like a bunch of walking trails throughout the community, and there's a bunch of message boards. I see realtors' cards in there all the time. She's like, I want to start putting like lists of homes for sale, like on every message board, but I want to do it with a QR code, and I want to become like the agent for our community. Like, what do you think I should put on there? I was like, well, why don't you have the QR code reroute to this page right here, and you put in big bold letters, scan this for a free home valuation, and you put the QR code there. And she said that she gets so many clicks, so many hits, so many leads that come through just from that, because and I love, this woman's name is Kathy. She's awesome. She goes every week. She's like, every Monday she updates them, and she puts up flyers on every message board in and around her community while she walks her dog. It's just like a great idea. It's just another way. Like I said, you have the tools. You got to get to your audience. So I see like even some, like we might have a couple millennial realtors on this call here, which makes me excited, as I am a fellow millennial realtor, Amanda. So so I had a lot of followers on Instagram, for example. And so something I put on Instagram, I'm trying to get to 10K followers.
Nick,
like Amanda.
are you saying that I'm not a millennial?
No,
Are you
Melinda,
calling me
are.
old all of a sudden? I'm really
you're-
not liking that.
You're an honorary millennial for sure. Okay. But I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram like Amanda, so I can do like the swipe up, feature on Instagram. But even despite that, you can put on Instagram, if you have an easy to remember domain, like I was just saying to Mike, right? Like I have nickknowsnc.com that forwards to my website. So I'll put like Nick Knows NC on there, so it's just easy. People will type it in, or I'll say, click the link in my bio, and people can go there. And then they can find my either my link tree or whatever I got there now. I need to clean up my my own social media stuff. But But the point is, like, no matter what it is, you have free home valuation seller squeeze page. You can create market reports as well for different areas. So again, like I could put in Charlotte and I could create a link there, Mike, that could be pretty helpful for people that are looking maybe out of state. So this is what a market report looks like. And again, all you have to do, put in the area, generate the link, and then you have it. You can add a hashtag if you want, or a source. You don't really need to, quite honestly. That's kind of like for another topic for another day. But you can create these market report pages so people can get this information. And again, it's blocked by a pay, like kind of like a forced registration. So like I'm logged in here, but let's say I logged out, right? And so I'm gonna log out. So now I'm gonna paste this link one more time, and you're gonna see that it's gonna say, please register to view a market report, right? So again, you have this awesome tool. It's all about getting it into the hands of your audience. It's all about taking it the next step with that marketing. So I want to show you guys some ideas, maybe start getting the gears turning for how it could apply to your business. And like I said, I have tons of different strategies and videos online as well on YouTube for, for ways to accomplish these things that you guys might want to check out. So I do want to make sure that I can cover some questions if you guys had specific questions for different ways that you guys want to promote this. But you guys have so many different tools here. We didn't even cover multi-property and single property squeeze pages here, but there's so many different strategies to implementing these. But is everyone kind of getting the main basics of landing pages versus squeeze pages and how to implement these? Seeing a lot of nodding heads. Do we have any specific questions, guys? Feel free to.
I do.
Hey, Brianna, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Ask away.
Backpedaling sort of, but I guess it would apply to both. Particularly, I was thinking with that lead engine. I am new in regards to all this, and I'm sure there's information out there somewhere. But while I got you here, where is that going to show in here as far as like a report, so you can see what's actually being generated and what the contacts are from that one particular landing page versus another one?
So in terms of report, what do you mean? Like what
Well, I
leads
mean,
are coming
so
through, or?
yeah, if somebody is putting their information into this landing page to give you that as far as like a contact, is there something that's showing this landing page specifically generated these contacts, this one generated this, so you can track, okay, well, I got the most hits from doing something like this versus this. I got the most hits from this being there.
That's a great question. So remember how I said you don't really need a source or a hashtag? Well, to answer your question, that is why you put a source or a hashtag. So perhaps you should put a source or a hashtag. So, and in other words, so what Brianna? Bree. Okay, I'll just go with Bree. So what Bree is basically saying is, how do I track which squeeze page or which landing page worked the best? Because that's the one I want to keep using, right? So for example, back to the example of a seller squeeze page, let's say I put in Skybrook, right? And I did Skybrook as the squeeze page, okay? And I generated this link. Well, what I want to do is maybe add the hashtag Skybrook, so that when I generate the link, that way anybody that comes through this squeeze page and becomes a lead in my CRM, they will get tagged Skybrook. So then I could go and search for Skybrook, and it'll pull up all the leads that came from that squeeze page. So essentially, think of these hashtags as a way to kind of organize or track your database and see what's working. And conversely, you can actually do the exact same thing with the landing page. So remember how I was explaining like that Panthers example that I just closed? So I just closed the link to that. But let's pretend this was the Panthers example, right? Christian McCaffrey's up for the for the giveaway, right? What I would add for that hashtag is maybe I would put hashtag let's see, Panthers giveaway, right? And I will put that as the hashtag. That way, anybody that signed up for the Panthers giveaway would be tagged Panthers hashtag. And then all I would have to do is I just go to the Smart CRM and I would just search for Panthers hashtag or hashtag Panthers giveaway. And all those leads would pop up in my CRM as a new lead right there, right? So that's how I would do it. That's the best way, is to use those hashtags. That's how you would track which are working better than others. Great question.
Nick,
Absolutely.
is there not an analytics page though that's going to show you the traffic that's coming through them, or is that the only way to track that?
Yeah, there is a business analytics page that you have here that will show data like kind of overall on your website. But if you wanted to like break it down specifically page to page, then you would need to use those hashtags.
Got it.
And I will say too that and you can import your Facebook pixel or your Google pixel into the back end of your website as well. And so you can track traffic flow from there as well, which was interesting because I actually, the other day I went and checked. I hadn't checked in a long time, but I was helping somebody import their Facebook pixel into their KV Core website. So I was doing it on my own for my own, and I went and checked, and it said that I had like a couple thousand people that had been on my website clicking over the last like 30 days. And it was really interesting because you can see who's come back multiple times. You can see how many visits, how long they were, on your website for. So I had this one guy that spent like 6 hours last Tuesday on my website, which was kind of interesting. I was like, I don't know what he's doing with his life. He's on looking at homes for 6 hours on my website, but he probably just had it pulled up on another screen and just forgot about it, right? Who knows, right? But yes, so you can track all those different things. But in terms of like tracking which pages are working the best, you want to use those hashtags. So all good questions. Any other questions, guys? Got a couple more minutes here. If we don't have any other questions.
I think Eric's trying to ask a question, but we can't hear him. Eric, can you talk again, see if we can hear you?
Yeah, Eric, I think you need to connect your mic. You might be using the wrong microphone. So in the bottom, you see that mute button. You want to click that up arrow. Make sure you get the right mic selected.
I'm muted. Eric, you can nod your head if you want to. Were you going to ask him the question that you asked me earlier?
We got a hand raised as well, Yvonne.
Hey, Nick, while Eric's figuring it out, thank you so much for this. And I'm sorry I was late. I was with a client. But can I just ask, because I missed the first 20 minutes, you're speaking Russian to me, okay? And I am not a millennial. So if I watch the first 20 minutes, will this all make sense? Because you totally know what you're talking about and you flow and it's going. But for newbies who are really struggling with this KV Core and the CRM, I'm trying to follow you with the squeeze page and this, and I've been trying to set it up, but I just feel extremely lost.
Yeah. So first of all, definitely I would go back and watch the first 20 minutes.
Okay.
Because I did start all the way from the beginning.
Okay.
On a lot of this stuff. So I'm seeing a lot of nodding heads. So that's good feedback.
Yeah. And Yvonne, after you watch the video, if you still need help with it, then just get on my calendar and I'll help you walk through it.
Okay. Yeah. And I didn't want to really ask because I was late and I don't want to disrespect your time, but I think this stuff is so valuable. Like you're saying, everyone keeps saying we have the tools, but today I woke up and I'm like, I don't know if eXp or being a realtor is for me because I feel really lost. And I know I'm not the only one. So thank you.
Are you brand new recently?
Yes. No. Yeah. I'm a year. I mean, I've been an agent for a year.
Got it. Yeah. Well, so a lot of it's just plugging in, and we find that happens a lot. That agents maybe have been with eXp for a couple months or even a year like yourself, but really haven't plugged in. And so something that my partner Jay and I put together as well is Jay and I have a program. It's a setup service, okay, which is, we call it Ignite Your KV Core. And it's something that a couple of you guys, like Melinda, actually had purchased and hired Jay and I to set up your system for you. So if you feel like you're kind of stuck in the mud before you even got the engine started kind of deal, this might be something you want to look at. And essentially we do like everything I just taught today and then like a million things more we set up for you guys, including like custom buyer campaigns, setting up your profile, importing your leads, website optimization, lead gen library, all this really good stuff. And then we also preload a bunch of content in there. We have scripts, campaigns, like the whole deal.
Is this Jay Bebery? Is this Jay Bebery? Jay?
Yes.
Barubi, yes.
Barubi, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So this is the guy that Amanda was mentioning earlier that he and I have been building out the funnels for Amanda. But so anyway, the point is we have this service here where we can set you up and kind of get your KV core up and running if you feel like you're getting stuck. And then what's important is that we also get you access. Like I have so much training in this training library, right? Like all these videos broken down. Okay. And then I was even doing these deep dives on Zoom. I've now moved all of my deep dive stuff to Facebook. So I have a private Facebook group where I do those live classes now. Okay. And we even have campaign library, like we're adding more campaigns and we give away scripts from Jay. So it's a home run, no brainer for those of you that are kind of feeling stuck on KV Core. And I'll make this announcement too, because I just put the link just so you guys can see it. I put the link there in the Zoom chat to this page I was just walking you guys through if you guys are interested in potentially hiring us. But we are actually in the process of partnering with the biggest, like #1 service provider for KV Core. And we're going to be combining our two programs together. And we're going to be doing weekly live coaching. So for anybody that's hired us, so like Melinda, she hired us over a year ago at this point. And she was on a bunch of those calls every week. And again, we switched some of the times and those things, but we're actually going to be partnering with another big KV Core coach. So it's going to be 2 heads, better than 1. And I'm really, really excited about it because we got some really awesome stuff coming out. So if that's something that you feel like you need help with in terms of setup, and then you want to get access to, like live training and coaching as well on an ongoing basis, it's a one-time payment for the setup, and the training's included with that. So like Melinda, I don't think you joined the Facebook group. You got to get in there.
No, that's what I was just going to ask you, because you had just switched over when I was on the Zoom and I was like, where's Nick? Where's the Facebook? How do I get you on that?
We've sent you a couple emails. So you might have missed it. Oh yeah. Oh, well, great. You can check
it. I'm working over here, Nick.
Go ahead and search it then. Just search Sales Commanders. It'll pop up for KV Core. But yeah, I'm really excited though, because like I said, we're actually partnering with 1 and maybe 2 even big like KV Core guys out there and gals who we are going to be working with. And so it'll be like a coaching collective. So it's not just going to be Nick, right? It won't just be me. You'll have different coaches for KV Core and you still get the setup, right? So it's all of that in one. So we're really,
how much is the setup?
Yeah, so it's $397. So $397. It's a one-time payment, like I said. That includes all that setup that I was just covering. And it includes lifetime access to this member area that we are adding and constantly updating to, including these scripts that Jay wrote. Okay. Like I mentioned, also includes those weekly live trainings that we do. Okay. And it's all of this stuff set up for you. And we have custom buyer campaigns. Like our team will actually log into your account. We'll go set up these things. And by the way, we actually will generate 30 squeeze pages for you guys. So if some of you watch today's training, we're like, okay, well, I can maybe make a couple of these, but I don't really know how to do I don't know if I'm have time to do a whole bunch of them. You actually just give us the areas. We'll create the squeeze pages for you, and we'll put them in a nice like looking document. This is actually what we send to our people once they've been completed. So we have a success guide that we send you guys, like access to the member area, join the Facebook group, all this stuff. So Melinda, I can resend this to you if you seem to have misplaced it. But what's cool is like we also send you guys like squeeze pages, right? So like, hey, here's someone in Raleigh that we were doing it for, right? Durham, Raleigh, Cary, Wake Forest, Apex, Chapel Hill. Look at all the links, like they're all done, right? So we actually will generate those links for you. So that way, all you have to do is just follow the training and generate leads. That's all you have to do. I'll give you the training. We created the links for you. We optimize your campaigns. We'll set up your account. We'll import your leads. We'll set up your automations and optimize your website. So literally all you have to do is get leads into your system and then follow up. That's all you got to do. So it's a total full service thing. Yeah, we're really excited though for your group if you guys need that help. So like Yvonne, like you were just saying, like if you got stuck and you need that help, yeah, let us help you get unstuck, and that's what we're here for. So
Yeah, guys, this is one of those kind of no-brainers, right? Like if you, because this is definitely not my area of expertise. Like I can show you how to use KV Core, like the basics, but if you want somebody to do this and help you, this would be one of those things that I would say it's okay to spend money on and not lead with revenue, because this is going to give you that revenue.
yeah, and Melinda was like on every single call for a long time. That I was doing them in the evenings. We are doing them during the day, but like I said, I'm partnering with a couple of other coaches because we're trying to be cognizant of those different times as well. So we're gonna have I believe starting maybe in a week or two, we should be having daily every single day, of Monday through Friday, coaching calls for KV Core, and I'm really excited about it. So if you guys, it might not be like that forever too. I'll say that in terms of like, the one-time payment, but right now, if you purchase, the $397 for the setup, it includes access to that coaching, lifetime access. So it's all in one. So I hope you guys take advantage of that. If
It's worth it. It's worth it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Now, if I could just find you. Now, Nick, real quick, I'm on my Facebook, and when I hit sales command, not that one. When I hit it, it looks like I'm friends with you, but though, I mean,
I'm
I don't
sending
know.
you an
It just
invite
says-
right now.
Please do.
I'm sending you an invite to the private group. So
But yes, it is worth it. You do get a lot, and Nick and them definitely know what they're talking about when it comes to KV Core. Because I was just like you, like everybody, when it came to KV Core. So Nick hated me.
well, no, you were like a rock star student, because see, Melinda took everything and would like soak it up like a sponge, and she would bring 20 questions to every call, which I love, because a lot of people think they're annoying me when they ask questions. That's actually great. Like I questions are good, right? Questions are power. Questions are how you learn. So if you're silent, you don't have questions, that's when actually I get worried, because then it's like, I don't know if I'm just way over your head. So yeah, I mean, definitely that's all great questions here. Eric, I saw in the chat, you said where to sign up. I just put the link in there again, so that you have that. And I might do this as well if Amanda, if it's all right with you, I'll send I'm sure Jay has an email template written up. If you want to send it out with the replay to everybody, you can mention that in there as well. That sounds
Yeah,
good.
if you get that to me, I'll put it all together and I'll put it in the library too.
Yeah, Leah, I'm gonna put my email in the chat as well. Leah, can you make sure that I get a copy of that, or even just can you just email me so I have it? I'll make sure Jay gets you what you need.
You got it.
Cool beans.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, guys. I actually am 4 minutes late to another meeting. But I just want to make sure you guys had all those questions answered. So I appreciate you having me, Amanda.
Thank you so much for your time.